Good morning. Today we are going to learn scanner and math class. So let's begin. Now basically the scanner class is used to get user input and it is found in the java.util package. Okay, now if you want to, till now we have seen the programs where we have assigned a value to a variable saying say x is equal to 20 or y is equal to hello world, something like that. But if you want to accept the value from the user, then we have to use a class that is nothing but the scanner class. Okay, now the scanner class is present in a package and the package name is java.util. Now what is a package? Now package is nothing but a folder which consists of different classes. Okay, now see, if you are creating your own Java programs, you must have created your own folder. Okay, given it a name, say my Java programs, and all your .java and .class files all are present inside that particular folder. So if I want to use any of the class from that folder I have to import it in that particular class. So that folder is nothing but a package. So Java has different predefined packages, okay, which has got several classes in it, which we can use directly by just importing the package in that class. Okay, so you should know the name of the package which you would be in which that class is present. So there is a package called as java.util. This is a package name in which the class scanner is present. So whenever you are using the class scanner in your program, you have to use this package java.util. And how do you use this? By importing it. So import is a keyword. So the first line of every program where the scanner class is present, you'll write import java.util. Okay, so that will help you to access the class scanner in your program. Okay, now what is the objective of the scanner class? It creates an object of the class and use any of the available methods found in scanner class. Now there are different methods in the scanner class. So these all methods are member functions, or they are the methods of class scanner. So if you want to use any of these, you have to first import the class scanner. So what are these? The definition is already present, so we are just going to use it. Okay, so next boolean is a method which reads a boolean value from the user. From the user means what? The console where we put the data. Okay, where we execute our program, that is nothing but the console. We call it as a console. So from there it will read the value, a boolean. Byte will help you to read a byte, double will help you to read a double, float will help you to read a float value. So what are these methods going to return? Depending on which data type it is, like int, so this will return an integer. Float, it will return a float. Double, next double will return a double. Next line returns a string, so it will return a string. Long, this will return a long. So depending on what is next and what is the data type you have used, the return type will be that. So we'll see an example with this first. Now this is an example where here you can see import, as I told you, import. So java.util, and in that there is a class scanner. So this is nothing but a package name. Okay, now for example you have created your programs. Okay, and you have supposing my programs, my prg, okay, dot star. So this is my prg is nothing but your own folder where your Java programs are there, and dot star means what? It is importing all the classes which are present inside that particular folder in this particular program. So whichever class is declared inside that folder, I can access it directly over here. So when we will do packages, I'll explain you this concept in depth. Okay, so at present you just keep in mind that this package is nothing but set of, or it is a collection of classes, different classes. So one class in that is scanner, which we are using. Okay, now here you can see I am creating an object of class scanner. Now here you can see that I am passing a parameter system.in. Now system.in is nothing but, it is nothing but a parameter which will go to the class scanner when I create an object of the class scanner. Here you cannot see where is the class scanner, how it is defined, how it is declared, what are the methods, how are they using. We are just using it. Okay, why? Because we have imported it. So system dot, always when we create an object of class scanner, you have to pass a variable which is of type system.in. This refers that it is the input console. See, when we are, this is nothing but my input console. So if I want to refer this is system.in. When we print something on it, what we say? System.out. Out means output. So system.out is the output gets printed on this console, and I want to read now, so I say system.in. So from here the value will be read. So the reference, this particular my object is not now pointing to system.in. So whatever value we are going to enter in this on this console will be read, because we have created an object in that fashion. So if you don't write this, you will get an error. Okay, so you have to keep in mind that always you have to have the system.in as a parameter when you create an object of class scanner. Now here there were multiple methods we have seen. So say I say system.out enter name. Okay, so my object is nothing but this object which created. Next line. So what does this next line do? It returns a string. So you can see the return type is string and variable is name. So it is returning a string which I am storing it in a variable name. Okay, similarly next is enter your age. Okay, now age I am using the method next int. So it is going to return an integer. So age is of type integer, numeric value. Okay, so I've used next int. Similarly enter salary. So salary may be in double form, so next double, and the return type is double. Salary I have declared it as double. So the return type next double, so this value variable should be of type double only. It cannot be of type int, or it cannot be of type string. Okay, so what happens is this is data type mismatch. That is, you're trying to read a double value and storing it in a variable which is of type string. This we call it as a data type mismatch, and we will get an error in this line. So whenever you use these methods, see to it the data types are also mentioned properly. So in this program what we are doing, we just created a scanner object. We are accepting a name, age and salary, and with the help of system.out I am printing the name, age and salary. So let's quickly see this program. Java scan. So see, it is asking for name and it is waiting for me. So I'll enter some name. Okay, it is entering the age and maybe the salary. So it is showing what is the name entered, what is the age and what salary you have entered. So in this way we use the scanner class. Okay, so here you can see if you enter wrong input, that is text in a numerical input, you will get an exception or an error. Now error is also called as exception in Java, and every error which we get in Java has got a name associated with it. Okay, so it is called as an input mismatch exception. So this is an input mismatch exception if you try to enter or store a number into a string. So you have to keep that thing in mind when using the methods. Now the next class is the math class. Now the math class is present in java.language.math. Contains method for performing basic numeric operations such as exponential, logarithm, square root, trigonometry like sine, cos, tan. There are around 50 plus functions present in the math class which we can use to do the mathematical calculations. Now we are not going to learn all the 50 methods. There are few which is mentioned in the textbooks which I am going to explain you over here. Okay, so these are the methods of the math class. Now first is nothing but the absolute. Okay, it will return the absolute value of a given value. Okay, now before what we'll do is we'll see one by one these methods. Okay, this is the absolute. What is an absolute value? That is, it returns the absolute value of a double number, a double value. Now before we see this, first we'll see how is the method declared inside the math class. Okay, now math is a class, keep in mind it is a class. Okay, and in that there is a method called as double. Now you can see the declaration of that method in the math class will be something like that. It is a public method, it is a static method, the return type will be double, the method name is absolute or abs, and the parameter which I am passing is a double. So in this way it is declared inside the class math. Public, static, double, abs, and the parameter is also a double. So this returns the absolute value of a double value. If the argument is not negative, the argument is returned. If the argument is negative, the negation of the argument is returned. Okay, now we'll just see an example first, then you'll understand more clearly. Now, as you can see here, I've used this class math demo. I have a x variable which is of type double, a value is stored in it, and a y variable which is I am storing a negative value in it, minus 0.0d. Now when I say math dot absolute x equal to, this is just a, I put it in double quotes, so this will be printed as it is. The actual method is called over here. Okay, so what is the absolute value of x? Okay, that it will give. Absolute value of y it will give. Okay, so if you execute this program, okay, I have not compiled it, I guess, or maybe the name of the program is wrong. Let me see, math demo. Okay, so the absolute value of the number is math of 487.1874 is the number. Absolute value of any number is the number itself. But if it is a negative, then the absolute value is always positive. Okay, so here you can see math of minus 0.0, it is giving positive, and math of absolute of minus 999,555 dot, so that is also given positive. So what it is trying to say here is, if the argument is positive 0 or negative 0, the result is positive 0. Yani absolute of 0 is will be always 0 over here. If the argument is infinite, the result is positive infinity. If the argument is NaN, means not a number, means if you are trying to put a string, then the result is also not a number. Okay, and if the argument is negative, the negation of the argument is returned. Negation yani the minus sign is removed. We negate a negate number, so minus minus is nothing but plus. So if you see, if you have observed the program here, minus 0.0, the output had come plus. Even over here the minus, the output is coming plus. Okay, and if it is a positive number, you will, absolute is nothing but the number itself. Okay, the next number is max, sorry, not number, the method. Now the method is written, this max method is declared in the class math in various ways. Okay, so the arguments can be two integers, return type is integer. It could be two double, return type is double. It could be a long, the return type is long, and it could be float, the return type is float. So this is the way the methods are declared inside the class math. So you can use any of these, call any of the methods, and you know the data types should be in this way. If you're passing two doubles, the return type should be double. So we'll see one example. So this is a simple 2050. So, and I've used math.max x comma y. Okay. So we will okay, so maximum between this is say 20 and 50, it is 50. So if any one number is minus, okay, so here the output will be what? Keep that thing in mind. What will be the output? It will be always the plus value. Okay, so here it is, both are integers, so the return type here I have directly printed it. If you want to store it in a variable, you can do it in this way also. Say int r equal to math dot max, and I pass two values x and y, and then you can print, instead of here just this, I can print r. So it can be done in this way also, or you can directly, if you just want to print it, you can directly use it in the system.out.println method. Okay, now the opposite of max is min, that it will return the minimum between the two numbers. Okay, so now there are certain things we have to keep in mind when we are using the min function. If we provide positive and negative values as the argument, this method will return negative argument. Okay, but obvious, if it is a positive and a negative, then the negative will be the minimum number. The negative number will be the returned as minimum. And if you provide both negative values as argument, number with the higher magnitude is returned as a result. Now just consider a number scale. 0 is there in the between. To the right side are all positive and to the left side are all negative numbers. Okay, so if both are negative, then the higher magnitude value will be returned. Okay, we'll see with an example also. If the arguments are not a number, this method will return a not a number. Okay, now we'll just see one example. Now the same program here, I'm printing the minimum. I have used minimum. Okay, so Java C min example 1 dot Java. So now this will return 20. Okay, now if I mention minus 20, one is positive and one is negative. So it will return the negative value, and if it is both are negative, so it says, just keep in mind the scale in this example. So it will be, to the left side are all negative numbers, so it will start with minus 1, 2, 3, 4, and with higher magnitude, what it was saying. So here the minimum value is minus 20. Okay, so the number with higher magnitude is returned as result. Now the next is round. Now the round method is used to round the decimal number to the nearest value. Okay, now in this way the method is declared inside the class math. It is again a static method. Okay, now you can see here, if you observe the static method, we don't need to create an object. We can directly access it with the help of the class name. So we are using these things in the program by math.round or math.max, math.min. Why it is happening? Because all these methods are declared inside the class max, which are of type static. Okay, so this is nothing but math.round of x. So it will give the closest number for 79.52. So it is giving us the value as 80. Okay, the closest int for the double value, that is 80. It is returning an integer to this double. Okay, so if it is a float, then it returns an integer. If it is a double, it will return a long. Okay, next is square root. It is used to return the square root of a number. Okay, so the declaration is double is the return type and double is the parameter to the function square root. So double x81, so this is returning the square root of 81. So square root of 81 is nothing but 9. Okay. Then like square root you have cube root. So this is going to return the cube root of a given number. So over here instead of square root sqrt I am using cbrt. So it will return the cube root of, that is the number to the cube of 3. Okay, that is 729. So it will return that number. Okay, which is cube of this number to the raised to 3. Okay, now the next is used to power function. This is used to return the value of the first argument raised to the power of the second argument, and the return type of power method is double. So the return type is double, yani this is a raised to b, where a is the base and b is the exponent. So this is nothing but base and exponent. So this is two double values. So I said a over here is x raised to y. So x is what, 5, and y is 4. So this will return 5 to the power of 4, that is 5 multiply 4 times. So that will be the answer. Okay, so this is 5 to the power of 4. The answer is 625. Now this is the CEIL function is used to find the smallest integer value that is greater than or equal to the argument or mathematical integer. So this will return you the smallest integer value which is greater than or equal to that particular argument which we are passing. Now what do you mean by this? Okay, now see, this is the double variable 83.56 and I am using this method. Okay, so this is the, like, this is a double value, right? So it is 83.56. So if you see the nearest positive value is nothing but 84. Okay, so it is like similar to rounding that particular variable. Okay. Okay, now but over here in the previous one, in this previous program, if I give a negative value, okay, so it will keep it as it is. Okay, it will be minus 83 only. Okay, so if it is a negative value, the value is not getting in the round function, it was not converting a negative value to the nearest function. Okay, but over here in CEL function, it is like if you mention a negative, the negative variable is displayed as it is with a minus sign over there. Okay, you have to try all these programs on your own with different arguments, so that you will be able to actually understand how these methods are using. So please practice all these programs. Now next number is the random number. Now this is used to return a pseudo-random double type number greater than or equal to 0.0 and less than 1.0. The default random number always generated between 0 and 1. So this is basically returns the random number. We don't know which number it will return, but they will be always between 0 and 1. Now what if you want to display a random number between 0 to 20? So a specific range like 1 to 100, something like that. So if you want to specific range of values, you have to multiply the returned value with the magnitude of the range. Magnitude of the range means the minimum is 0 and maximum is 20. So in this you have to multiply whatever value you are getting by 20. If it is 100, then the value which you are getting, you have to multiply it by 100. Okay, so we'll just see an example. Now here you can see math.random. I have two variables a and b, and I am just generating random numbers and it is printing. Okay, so we don't know what will be, we cannot predict the output of a random program because it is generated by the system. Okay, so this is, but always it is between 0 to 1. So what if I want to have between 0 to 20 as we discussed? Okay, so the value you're using, you're multiplying it by 20. So the output over here will be random numbers between 0 to 20. Okay, so these are random numbers between 0 to 20. So supposing you have been given a range that print the random numbers between 1 to 20, or say 1 to 100, something like that. So the last magnitude is 100 over here. So here you have to multiply that thing by 100. Okay, so this is going to print the random numbers between 1 to 100. Okay, so this is a random number between 1 to 100. Okay, so in this way the random method is used, which is also a method of class math. So we have almost completed all the methods of class math as well as the methods of class scanner. So you practice programs which are based on these methods. I'll share you all the programs which I have used just now in the examples. If you have any doubts, you get back to me. Thank you.